All right, we're going to give you a quick video that looks at the lesson 5 vocab. At this point, you've probably already actually gone through this lesson, but for anybody who needs to catch up or a refresher, this video is for you. All right, so the first thing that we have is a civilization. We decided in this class that there's like 7 things that make up a civilization. We'll be using it throughout the year, but this one just highlights a few of the big ones: art, science, social structure, government. These are big things that all civilizations include. And when I think of a civilization, I think of something that's highly developed, something that has architecture. You can see this building in the video. You can see that they have like an organized road system. So they have some type of government that keeps them under control. There's art that's in the city. You can tell that they understand the way that changing water would work and how they can keep their city clean and sanitation, all those things that deal with science and technology. So using in a sentence, the Egyptians created one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever known. Examples: ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, the United States, Ethiopia, Sudan. Non-examples: running club, a gang, a football team is not a civilization. Now, one of these characteristics of civilization that I think is kind of the hardest is social structure. Okay, and this is really just the way that a society is organized, and usually it's not done like officially, right? So it's not like you have a title of being rich or poor. It's just kind of the way that society ends up putting people into different places. So, and it's really more how like they're categorized after things have been done. So this image on the upper right, I think helps a lot because you have people that are always at the top, people that control the most, people that have the most wealth, people that really have the most power in any civilization. And then as you go down the pyramid, right, you have people that have less power. So typically at the very bottom are the people in your society who have no power whatsoever, and everything kind of leads up to the top. And one thing that's interesting is it's like there's fewer people at the top. So there's like the smallest group is at the top and they have the most power, but the biggest group with the most people is usually at the bottom and they have the least power. So one thing that I have as a sentence is the United States has a simple social structure with lower class, middle class, and upper class. Examples of this: rich and poor people, people with power and people without power. And even when you think of like of our school, you have people who are popular and unpopular. You have people that are kind of in between. Non-examples: Bugs Bunny, a football team, or winning a fight. Okay. Some examples of this when you look at like a picture. This one helps a lot because that person that's in red would be at the top. You can see there's only one of them, and there's some people in the middle, and there's people at the bottom. And the numbers get bigger or smaller depending if you go up or down the ladder. This is just kind of a word scramble of some words that go with social structure. This is an example of what the social system was like in Europe. So with kings at the top, nobles, knights, and then peasants would be those that had the least amount of power. Technology is the use of tools and other inventions for practical purposes. So I have a visual of iPads, phones, and computers, tablets, stuff like that. Technology makes my life easier by helping me complete my daily tasks. Some examples of technology kind of surprise people, but something as simple as a lawnmower, a rifle, a bow and arrow, a shovel, but then something a little bit more complicated like an iPhone or an iPad. Non-examples are clothing or food. Those are not inventions. Those are different things to help people survive. And when I think of this, right, it's really easy to think of iPads and phones, but also something like a wheelbarrow or just the wheel itself is a piece of technology. And then we have this kind of hydraulic system. This is meant to funnel water. It's another piece of technology. Okay, so again, when we look at the words that are most important for this lesson, the ones that you got to know: civilization, it's the way like a highly developed society. We have a social structure, that's the way that society is organized. And then we have technology. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're unsure, I would rewatch the video until you feel like you have a good understanding of it. Peace.